This video is about the Alpha kissed her in secret and his Luna wanted revenge. If the story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The Alpha kissed her in secret and his Luna wanted revenge. The moon hung high in the sky, its silver rays weaving through the ancient trees of the enchanted forest. Shadows danced as the wind whispered secrets among the leaves. In a clearing bathed in moonlight, Leela stood, her heart racing. An Omega of the Crescent Moon Pack, she had always felt the weight of her role overshadowed by the Alphas and their fierce loyalty to one another. Yet tonight was different. Tonight, her breath caught in her throat as she awaited the presence of the one who had awakened something deep within her, Elias, the Pack's Alpha. He was powerful, commanding, and every bit the hero that legend spoke of. But he was also forbidden. Leela came a low growl from behind her, sending shivers down her spine. She turned, her pulse quickening as her gaze met his. Elias was more than just a man. He was a storm wrapped in muscle and charisma, a force of nature that pulled her in like the tides. Elias, she breathed, mesmerized by the intensity of his dark blue eyes. You shouldn't be here. What if someone sees? I don't care, he replied, stepping closer, his presence enveloping her like a warm embrace. I've never cared less about anyone's opinion than I do right now. His voice was a rumbling thunder, igniting a fire within her. The tension crackled in the air between them, a palpable force that defied their circumstances. Leela was meant to be the Pack's Omega, a role defined by servitude and submission, while Elias was meant to his Luna, Sarah, the fierce female who was not only his mate but also the Pack's rightful leader. What are we doing? She asked, her voice trembling as she took a step back, fighting against the pull of destiny that drew her to him. Elias placed a hand on her shoulder, his touch electric. What I want to do is kiss you. Leela's breath hitched. The confession hung in the air, heavy and intoxicating. The Alpha leaned in, his lips brushing against hers with a sweetness that melted her resolve. The world faded away, and in that sacred moment, there was no pack hierarchy, no Luna waiting for him at home. Just them. But as the kiss deepened, reality crashed back in, and panic surged through Leela. She pulled away, breathless and wide-eyed. No, Elias, this is wrong. What if Sarah finds out? She wouldn't, he promised, his brows furrowing in frustration. She doesn't understand me like you do. You're the only one I can be myself around. The words were a balm to her soul, yet they were also a dagger. Leela knew that no matter what magic the moon offered, they could not escape the consequences of their actions. As if summoned by fate, a rustling echoed through the trees, and Leela turned to see Zara emerging from the shadows. Her eyes blazed with fury, a stark contrast to the serene beauty of her features. The air thickened with tension, and Leela's heart sank. They had been caught. What a lovely scene, Zara sneered, her voice dripping with disdain. The Alpha and his little plaything sharing secrets under the moonlight, how quaint. Elias straightened, his body going rigid. Zara, this isn't what it looks like. Oh, because it looks like betrayal to me, a betrayal of your mate, your Luna. Her voice cut like a knife, and the shadows seemed to thicken around her, a manifestation of her rising anger. Zara, please, Leela pleaded, feeling the weight of her Omega status pressing down on her. I didn't mean you. Stay out of this, Leela, Zara snapped, her gaze like ice. You ain't nothing but an Omega. You don't understand the bond of a true mate. Elias stepped forward, his protective instincts flaring. This isn't just a game, Zara. You can control everything. Leela is what? Zara interrupted, her laughter a cruel melody. More than an Omega, just a distraction to ease your burden? You think this is love? You were a fool, Elias? Leela's heart shouted at the accusation. Though she felt the deep connection with Elias, the reality of the situation loomed like a storm cloud. She was an Omega, destined to be an afterthought in a world that thrived on hierarchy. Zara, yes, not like that, Leela whispered, fighting back tears. I never meant to hurt you. Zara turned her sharp gaze on Leela. You think I care about your intentions? You've ruined everything. You've tarnished what we had. Elias clenched his fists, torn between loyalty and desire. Zara, stop. This isn't Leela's fault. It's mine. Enough. Zara's voice boomed, echoing through the clearing. You've made your choice. Now, you face the consequences. With a flick of her wrist, a wave of energy surged through the air, and Leela felt the power of the Luna's wrath. It was as if the very earth beneath her trembled, and she stumbled back, heart pounding. Zara, don't. Elias shouted, but it was too late. Zara's magic enveloped Leela, a binding spell meant to sever any connection she had formed with the Alva to erase their bond. Leela! Elias's voice cracked with desperation as a wall of energy flared between them, pushing him away. The world spun, and Leela felt herself being pulled into darkness, her body overwhelmed by the force of Zara's rage. As the shadows consumed her, Leela glimpsed Elias's pained expression etched with regret and longing, and then she was gone, lost in the depths of the mystical realm that lay beyond the veil, a place where destinies twisted and fates intertwined. Hours later, Leela awoke in a desolate place, the air thick with an eerie silence. Confusion clouded her thoughts, but one thing was clear: she was separated from the pack, from Elias, and from everything she knew. "Welcome to the Shadow Realm," their voice echoed around her. Startled, Leela turned to see a figure emerging from the darkness, a woman cloaked in shadows, her eyes shimmering like stars. "Who are you?" Leela asked, her heart racing. "I am Seraphine, guardian of lost souls. You've been brought here by the luminous wrath, but you are not without hope. You can still fight for your love." "Fight?" Leela echoed, pain lacing her voice. "How can I fight against destiny? The heart knows no bounds, dear Omega. Destiny can be written if you dare to challenge it." Leela's heart swelled with longing and determination. She had never truly felt like an Omega, not when Elias was near. If love could pull them together, maybe it could also bring her back. "I will find a way," she vowed, her spirit igniting with fierce hope. "I will reclaim what was taken from me." Seraphine smiled, her eyes twinkling with knowing. "Then embrace your strength, Leela. The moon's magic runs through your veins. You are destined for more than you realize." With each word, Leela felt a surge of power awakening within her. She was no longer just an Omega caught in a web of betrayal. She was a force to be reckoned with, a heart yearning for its mate. The journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, but with the moon's guidance and her unwavering love for Elias, Leela was ready to rewrite her fate. And perhaps, just perhaps, love could heal even the deepest of wounds. Asterisk, the Alpha kissed her in secret, and his Luna wanted revenge. Part 2. Asterisk. Leela stood in the Shadow Realm, the ethereal mist swirling around her like a living shroud. Heart pounding, she turned to Seraphine, her eyes wide with a mixture of desperation and determination. "Tell me how I can return," Leela implored, her voice trembling yet resolute. "I can stay here. I need to find Elias. He needs me." Seraphine stepped closer, her form flickering like candlelight. "You must first confront the shadows within yourself. This realm will test your will. Only then can you reclaim your place among the living." "Test me?" Leela scoffed, her spirit igniting with indignation. "I've already lost everything. What more could this realm take from me?" "The fight is within you," Seraphine replied, her tone softening. "The love you share with Elias is powerful, but love requires sacrifice. If you wish to return, you will face your fears and confront the luminous wrath." Leela's thoughts drifted to Elias. His dark blue eyes, filled with longing and regret, haunted her. "I've faced my fears before. I'd face them 1,000 times if it meant getting back to him," she declared, her resolve unwavering. "Then let the journey begin." Seraphine's hands glowed, and the shadows twisted, forming a path ahead. "Follow the light, but be wary. The Shadow Realm reveals truths best left hidden." With a deep breath, Leela stepped onto the path. The moment her foot touched the shimmering light, visions swirled around her. Memories and fears intertwined, a haunting reflection of her life. She saw herself as a child, asking her mother if she could be more than just an Omega. "You must accept your role, dear Leela. It is your destiny," her mother's voice echoed, a sorrowful note lacing her words. As the image faded, Leela stumbled, pain coursing through her. "No, I wouldn't accept that," she cried, anger bubbling to the surface. She was more than what her role dictated. She was strong, she would prove it. The path shifted again, revealing a darkened clearing. In the center stood Elias, surrounded by wolves of the Crescent Moon Pack. The air was thick with tension, their eyes filled with suspicion as they stared at their alpha. "Elias, you're making a mistake," the voice shouted. It was Zara, lips curled in defiance. "You cannot choose an Omega over your me." The vision unsettled Leela, yet it stoked the fires of her determination. She stepped forward, wanting to scream her truth, but the scene played on. Elias's face was a mask of turmoil as he looked from Zara to the pack. "I care for Leela," he said, his voice steady but filled with conflict. "But I cannot abandon my responsibilities." Leela's heart sank. The weight of his words bore down on her, entangling her in doubt. Asterisk, was she truly a burden? Asterisk. "No," she shouted, but her voice was swallowed by the realm's darkness, leaving her powerless. In the blink of an eye, the clearing vanished, replaced once more by a swirling mist. The shadows will distort your reality until you choose to embrace your truth. Seraphine's voice echoed through the void. Embrace my truth? Leela muttered, letting the weight of her fear wash over her. What truth? That I am unworthy? That I am just an omega? The shadows flickered, and Leela felt a surge of energy rise within her, threatening to break through the barriers of her self-doubt. No one can define my worth but me, she whispered fiercely. The mist shifted again, revealing a new vision, a serene grove illuminated by moonlight. In its center, she saw Elias, his head bowed, lost in thought. She could feel the pull of their bond, the ache of longing that refused to dissipate even across realms. Elias, she called softly, stepping closer, but he didn't hear her. Shadows enveloped him, whispering of betrayal and regret. Please remember me, remember our kiss beneath the moonlight. Suddenly, a powerful burst of energy radiated from Leela, a brilliant light breaking through the shadows. No more, you will not claim what belongs to me. As the darkness recoiled, Leela felt the weight of her fears lifting, replaced by a newfound strength. The shadows dissipated, revealing a figure cloaked in luminous moonlight. Very well, Leela, Seraphine spoke, her voice filled with approval. You have faced the first trial. Now the path you tread will lead you closer to your heart's desire. Will I see Elias? Leela asked, hope threading through her voice, a delicate whisper. Will I be able to tell him how I truly feel? Seraphine nodded. But know this, love is not without its trials. Your bond will be tested in ways you cannot fathom. Only true courage will guide you home. With those words, the path before Leela brightened, drawing her deeper into the heart of the shadow realm. Yet, as she walked, a flickering doubt lingered. Asterisk, what if Elias no longer wanted her? Asterisk. The ground beneath her feet shifted, and she stumbled, landing in yet another vision. This time, she found herself in the Pack's territory, the familiar sense of pine and earth filling her senses. The moon hung high, casting a soft glow that illuminated the clearing. Elias stood at the edge, his gaze distant. Sorrow was by his side, her expression one of cold resolve. Anger flared in Leela's chest as she realized what was happening. Elias, you need to see the truth, Sarah said, her voice smooth yet laced with venom. Leela isn't your mate, she is just an omega, a fleeting distraction. Leela felt her heart shatter again. No, she screamed, but once more her voice went unheard. Elias' face twisted in pain, his hands clenched at his sides. I don't care about the Pack's expectations, Sarah. I care about what I feel, he responded. But what if it is too late? Asterisk, too late. Asterisk, the words echoed in Leela's mind, igniting a fire of determination. Elias, it's never too late. But the vision morphed again, revealing a darkened path leading away from the grove. Leela found herself standing before a massive chasm, its depths filled with swirling mist. You must leap, Seraphine's voice echoed, urging her forward. Only by surrendering your fears can you cross to where your love awaits. Leela took a deep breath, her heart racing. I can teach us leap. Trust in your love, Seraphine insisted. It will guide you. With one last glance at the chasm, Leela stepped forward, heart pounding in her chest, and leaped into the unknown. The world around her twisted, and she felt a rush of energy enveloping her, pulling her toward the light. Suddenly, she landed in a familiar clearing of the crescent moon pack, the moon shining brightly above her. Reality struck like a wave, and she gasped, looking around wildly. Elias, she called, but the clearing was empty, the pack members gone. Panic clawed at her throat. Where is he? Before she could gather her thoughts, Sarah emerged from the shadows, her presence commanding and fierce. Hughie returned, she sneered, stepping closer, her eyes glinting with malice. Did you think love would save you? Leela stood her ground, fire igniting within her. It is not love that needs saving, Zara, it is you. Sarah stepped back, momentarily taken aback by Leela's defiance. You think you can just waltz in here and claim him? You are a fool. I am not here to claim, Leela replied, her voice steady. I am here for Elias. I will fight for him, even against you. Zara's laughter echoed through the grove. Fight? You think you can challenge the Luna? I want to let you take away what is rightfully mine. Your claim means nothing if you can hold his heart. Leela shot back, her spirit unyielding. And I will prove to him that love is worth fighting for. As the tension crackled between them, Leela felt a surge of energy coursing through her, ancient magic stirred in response to her declaration. She was no longer just an omega, she was a storm rising against the tides. Let us see if that bravado can withstand the truth. Dara raised her hands, a shadowy mist swirling around her. Face the consequences of your desires. The shadows coiled around Leela, seeking to bind her once more, but she stood firm, drawing upon the power of the moon and her love for Elias. "You will not take my heart from me." With a powerful cry, Leela unleashed her magic. Light erupted from within her, casting back the darkness and illuminating the grove. The shadows receded, leaving Zara momentarily stunned. "Eyes!" Leela cried again, feeling the bond between them strengthen as her magic surged. "I am here, I am not afraid." The air thickened with energy. ***, the Alpha kissed her in secret, and his Luna wanted revenge. Part 3 ***. The grove pulsed with energy as Leela stood defiant against Zara's dark magic. The ancient trees around them whispered her name, and the moonlight highlighted the fierce determination etched on her face. "Elias," she called, her voice ringing through the clearing like a battle cry. "I am here, I am fighting for you." Zara's laughter reverberated through the air, cold and mocking. "You think your little outburst will change anything? Elias is mine, and you'll never be worthy of his heart." Leela felt the power of the moon coursing through her, a reminder of what she was fighting for. "You may be his Luna, but love cannot be owned. It is a bond forged in the fires of truth, not shackled by rage," she asserted, her voice steady, unwavering. With a flick of her wrist, Zara unleashed another wave of shadowy energy, tendrils snaking toward Leela, seeking to ensnare her. "Let us see how strong that bond is when faced with reality." Leela's heart raced as the shadows came closer, but she refused to back down. "I am stronger than you think," she shouted, channeling the love she felt for Elias, letting it wash over her like a surge of light. A brilliant glow erupted from her, pushing back against the shadows that threatened to engulf her. "You will not silence me." With a fierce cry, she unleashed a wave of moonlight, illuminating the grove with a brilliance that momentarily blinded them both. Zara's expression twisted into one of rage and disbelief as Leela's magic surged. "No, this cannot be!" In that moment, Leela felt a shift in the air, a warm breeze whispering through the trees. "Elias," she breathed, closing her eyes and focusing on the bond that connected them, a thread woven with shared dreams, secrets, and unspoken longings. Suddenly, the clearing erupted in chaos as the shadows recoiled from the light, and the pack's members began to materialize from the darkness, their expressions a mix of confusion and fear. They had been drawn to the power surging through Leela, sensing the clash of fates unfolding before them. "Leela," shouted Finn, one of the younger wolves from the pack, stepping forward with uncertainty in his eyes. "What is happening?" "Stay back," Zara barked, her voice dripping with authority. "This is not your battle." But Leela shook her head, her resolve solidifying. "No, it is all of ours. We can't let fear dictate our choices any longer. Love is worth fighting for." The pack hesitated, glancing at each other before stepping forward, emboldened by her words. "We stand with you, Leela," Finn declared, his voice rising above the tension. "We will not let Zara's darkness consume our alpha." Zara's eyes flashed with fury as she realized the tide was turning. "You think numbers can sway me? You we all fools. Elias is mine by destiny." "Destiny is not a chain, it is a path we forge ourselves," Leela countered, her heart pounding with conviction. "Elias deserves to choose who he loves, not be forced into a bond." "No," Zara screamed, her voice echoing like thunder. "You will regret this." With a wave of her hand, Zara called forth the shadows once more, spiraling toward Leela and the pack. A darkness enveloped them, vacant, suffocating, as if the very air had turned against them. "Stay together," Leela shouted, grasping Finn's hand, feeling the warmth of his support. The pack formed a tight circle, their energies intertwining, strengthening the bond they shared. "We have to believe in the light." As the shadows drew closer, Leela closed her eyes, focusing on the warmth radiating from her heart. "Elias, I am here. I believe in us." The whisper of her love became a guiding light, and she felt a response, an echo of his own heart reaching back to her. In that moment, the shadows hesitated, a flicker of uncertainty crossing Zara's face. "What is this power?" she hissed, confusion replacing her fierce confidence. "Love," Leela answered softly, her voice rising above the chaos. "True love that binds us all. It cannot be defeated by darkness." With that, Leela summoned all her strength, channeling the energy of the moon and the love shared among the pack. A brilliant light erupted from her, breaking through the shadows that enveloped them. The light expanded, wrapping around each wolf, igniting their spirits. The shadows recoiled, swirling in a desperate attempt to escape the brilliance. "No, this cannot be!" Zara shrieked, her voice filled with rage and fear. In the midst of the chaos, a figure stepped forward, Elias, his eyes ablaze with determination and longing. "Leela," he called out, his voice cutting through the darkness. He stepped into the light, his presence radiating strength, and the bond between them flared to life. "Eyes!" Leela cried, her heart soaring as he approached. The shadows receded, unable to withstand the power of their connection. Zara turned, her anger morphing into desperation as she tried to hold on to her power. "Elias, don't you listen to her. You cannot abandon your responsibilities. You are an alpha." "I am not just an alpha," he replied, his voice steady, filled with a conviction that resonated through the clearing. "I am a wolf, and I choose my own destiny, one that includes Leela." The shadows writhed and twisted, but Leela stood firm, feeling Elias's presence grounding her. Together, she whispered, taking his hand, their fingers entwining, united in purpose. With their joined strength, they faced Zara. "This ends now," Elias declared, his voice booming with authority. "You cannot control love. You cannot control me." The ground beneath Zara trembled as Leela and Elias's light surged forward, a brilliant wave of energy that crashed against the darkness. Zara screamed, the shadows consuming her, pulling her into the depths of despair. "You will regret this," she howled, her voice echoing as she vanished into the void. As the shadows dissipated, the grove transformed, sunlight breaking through the canopy above, illuminating the space with warmth and hope. The pack members looked around in awe, the air filled with the scent of pine and earth, renewed and vibrant. "Leela!" Elias breathed, stepping closer, his gaze filled with love and admiration. "You did it. You fought for us." "I didn't just fight for us," Leela replied, her heart racing. "I fought for everyone. We deserve to choose our paths to love without fear." He cupped her face in his hands, his dark blue eyes searching hers. "I thought I lost you," he confessed, emotion thick in his voice. "I never wanted to let you go." Leela felt her heart swell with warmth. "You didn't. Our bond was never broken. I knew you were waiting for me, even in the darkest moments." As they stood there, the pack surrounding them, it felt as if the world had shifted. They had faced the darkness together, and in doing so, they had forged an unbreakable bond. Elias leaned closer, brushing his lips against hers with a tenderness that sent tremors through her soul. "You are my heart," he whispered, the weight of his words wrapping around her like a warm embrace. "And you are my strength," Leela replied, leaning into him, her heart singing a melody of love and hope. In that moment, the moon shone brightly above, a witness to their love, as the pack howled in celebration, the sound echoing through the forest, a symphony of unity and destiny fulfilled. They had overcome the shadows, forged their own paths, and emerged into the light, a pack stronger than ever, guided by love, loyalty, and the unyielding spirit of the crescent moon. ***, the Alpha kissed her in secret, and his Luna wanted revenge. Part 4 ***. As the echoes of the pack's victorious howls faded into the stillness of the enchanted forest, Leela felt the embers of hope flicker within her. She had fought for love, a love that was now flourishing in the light of the moon, surrounded by her pack. Yet beneath the surface of joy, shadows of unease lurked. "Elias," she whispered, pulling back slightly to meet his gaze, searching for signs of lingering doubt or pain. "What happens now, Zara?" His expression hardened for a moment, and Leela knew the reality of their victory. Zara was powerful. "Leela, she won't give up easily," he replied, pain threading through his voice. "She'll be back. Whatever her plan is, we'll face it together." The resolve in Leela's voice caught him off guard. "I won't let fear dictate my life any longer. I've seen what lies beyond the darkness, and I am not afraid." Elias nodded, his heart swelling with pride. "You are right, but we cannot underestimate her. We need to unite the pack, fortify our bonds. She is not just vengeful, she is cunning." The pack gathered around them, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the moonlight. Finn stepped forward, his youthful energy radiating hope. "We stand with you both. If Zara tries to come back, she'll find an entire pack ready to protect what is ours." Leela's heart soared, her courage was matched by their collective strength. "Thank you, Finn. We will fight for our home, for our future." "Then let us prepare," Elias said, his tone shifting to that of an alpha, radiating authority. "We'll hold a council at dawn. Every wolf needs to know the stakes." As the pack dispersed, Leela felt the comforting presence of Elias beside her, but she couldn't shake the feeling of dread. What if Zara comes for us first? Elias, what if we were not prepared? He took her hand, his grip reassuring. We will train, and we will make our defenses stronger. You are not alone in this, Leela. We are a family." Hours later, as the moon dipped low on the horizon, Leela lay awake in her thoughts. Every shadow in the forest felt like a reminder of the darkness they had barely escaped. A sudden rustle outside sent her heart racing. The last she called softly, her voice barely above a whisper. I am here, he replied, stepping into the dim light, his form a silhouette against the silver glow. I couldn't sleep. Neither could I, she admitted, her heart fluttering as she felt the warmth of his presence. Do you think she'll come tonight? I don't know, Elias sighed, moving closer. But if she does, we'll be ready. He hesitated, then placed his hand on her cheek, his thumb brushing tenderly against her skin. I am glad you're safe. The intensity of his gaze held her captive, memories of their stolen moments flashing through her mind. I am glad you're here too, Elias, she confessed. I never want to lose you again. He leaned in closer, and the air filled with unsaid promises. I want to let that happen. Before she could process the weight of his words, he closed the gap between them, their lips meeting in a soft, lingering kiss. It was a kiss that spoke of longing and healing, a union forged in fires of battle. As they pulled away, Leela felt a renewed sense of purpose surge through her. We can do this, together. But the moment was shattered by a piercing howl that echoed through the night, a sound that chilled Leela's blood. It was a call steeped in darkness, a reminder that Sarah was still out there, plotting her revenge. Stay close, Elias warned, his expression shifting to one of fierce protectiveness. We need to gather the pack. They rushed into the night, the moonlight guiding their path as they sought the others. The pack began to assemble, anxiety tinged with determination in the air. Listen up, Elias shouted, commanding their attention. We've faced darkness before, and we emerged victorious, but Sarah's not finished with us. We must prepare for her return. The pack murmured, a mix of fear and resolve swirling among them. What us up then? Finn asked, stepping forward with fire in his eyes. We'll fortify our territory and train together. We need to ensure every wolf knows their role, that we be ready for whatever she throws at us, Leela added, her voice steady. United, we be strong. Let us split into teams, Elias suggested, his alpha instincts kicking in. Some will reinforce the borders, while others will focus on combat training. We'll all meet back here at dusk. As the pack dispersed, Leela felt the burdens of fear and uncertainty lift from her shoulders. They were stronger together, and as the sun began to rise, she caught glimpses of hope in the skies. Days turned into weeks as they trained relentlessly. Leela found herself at the forefront of each session, her spirit igniting the pack as resolve. Every howl, every shared experience brought them closer, their bonds tightening like an unbreakable chain. Yet, even as they prepared, Leela couldn't shake the feeling that Sarah was lurking, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. One evening, as she practiced with Finn, she felt the familiar pull of destiny, the bond between her and Elias shimmering with unseen energy. Leela, you're incredible, Finn remarked, panting from their training. You've brought us all together. We wouldn't be this strong without you. Thank you, Finn, Leela smiled, feeling the warmth of his support. But that's not just me. Elias has led us through so much. I only want to protect what is ours. The moment was interrupted by a sudden commotion near the borders. Elias' voice rose above the chaos, sharp and commanding. Stand down. Leela's heart raced as she sprinted toward the sound, fear gripping her gut. What had happened? As she reached the edge of the clearing, her breath caught in her throat. There stood Zara, her figure cloaked in darkness, flanked by a group of rogue wolves, ones who had once been part of the Crescent Moon Pack. Their eyes glinted with malice, a stark contrast to the loyalty that once bound them. Off. Elias growled, stepping protectively in front of Leela. What do you want? Revenge, she sneered, her voice a venomous whisper. You took everything from me, Elias. It's time to pay the price. Leela felt a surge of anger. You brought this upon yourself. Zara, we fought for our freedom, for love. You can control us. Zara's laughter echoed through the clearing, dark and haunting. Love, you think your bond means anything? You read just a pawn in this game, Leela. Stop! Elias roared, his voice filled with power. You break us again. We stand united. United? Zara scoffed, her eyes narrowing. We'll see how united you are when I unleash my pack of shadows upon you. Leela felt the tension rising, fear mixing with determination. We will fight for our lives, for our love. I want to let you take him from me. With that declaration, Leela summoned the strength of her bond with Elias, channeling the energy of the moon that coursed through her. Light erupted from her, illuminating the space around her and pushing back the darkness that threatened to swallow them. Zara's face twisted in disbelief as the shadows recoiled from the light. You think you can challenge me with mere light? She shrieked, her fury palpable. I don't just have light, I have love. Leela cried, feeling the magic of the pack surge through her. And together, we will defeat you. As the pack rallied around her, their spirits ignited by her words, Leela felt an overwhelming sense of purpose. They would not cower in fear, they would rise to meet their fate. "Charge!" Elias commanded, his voice cutting through the chaos. Together, they lunged forward, a wave of unity crashing against Zara's darkness. The battle raged, shadows against light, despair against hope. Leela's heart pounded as she fought side by side with her pack, every growl and howl echoing with purpose. The shadows twisted and turned, but they couldn't withstand the strength of their love. In the heart of the storm, Leela felt Elias's presence beside her, their bond radiating power. Together, he shouted, and they surged forward, the light of their love breaking through the darkness. Zara screamed, her form flickering as the shadows struggled against the force of their unity. "You will regret this," she howled, but Leela felt the tides turning. "No, Zara, you will regret underestimating us," Leela declared, her voice laced with strength. "This is our home, our pack, our love. We will never back down." With one final push, their combined strength surged forward, consuming the darkness, and in that moment, they felt the power of their bond shift that